107.5, The Game Podcasting, is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
Carolina is officially an AP top 10 team with the newest rankings coming out earlier on this hour after their victory over Virginia Tech over the weekend. They leapfrogged past Illinois, who was sitting at number 11, and who else? Alabama, who was sitting at number 8, fell well outside of the top 10, all the way to 21st. Alabama was number 8. They fall all the way down to 21st, and quite frankly, I have to look up the website, but I imagine there's a lot of people that may have even left them out of their top 25 with that performance over the weekend.
Yeah, most definitely, Tyler. Bama dropping 13 spots for a 31-17 loss at Florida State, too. You would think, like we were talking in the last segment, like the voters have certainly given, credit where credit's due for playing quality opponents in week one, and, Bama getting embarrassed in week one, and certainly the voters making them pay for it. So, yeah, dropping like a rock pretty much in the standings, and, a lot of other teams moving up, but not good for Bama and Kalen DeBoer.
Over the weekend, of course, you had the high-profile games, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson. Obviously Alabama and Florida State, and a lot of, SEC teams played against lesser opponents, FCS, G5, that kind of stuff. Georgia blew out Marshall. Florida blew out Long Island, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Tennessee, though, I think surprised a lot of people because they beat a pretty good team from a year ago in Syracuse pretty handily in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday as Joey Aguilar looked every bit the part in that Heupel offense. Yeah,
Tennessee not missing a beat without Nico, right? This team was supposed to be good with Nico coming in. Without him, you're kind of worried. It's like, okay, are they going to look any different? Nope. Beating Syracuse P4 team up there in the Carrier Dome.
That was a Mercedes-Benz. It was on Saturday before Carolina, Virginia Tech.
That's right, correct.
But still, nonetheless, impressive. And, I was skeptical, especially with how everything went down with Aguilar, of, okay, how's he going to fit inside this offense? Because the Heupel offense isn't made for everybody. But, man, he looked really good. Now, his completion percentage could certainly be up because he was right at 50. But, man, some of the balls that he threw with the guys getting wide open, it looks like it's going to be a good combination there in Knoxville this year.
Yeah, Josh Heupel certainly has himself something. And, Tennessee, again, another year in the SEC where they can't be overlooked. Going to be a scary team coming down the stretch in, October, November.
On Friday night, you had Auburn taking on Baylor on the road, a game that I think we were all anticipating in terms of the dysfunction that Auburn seems to have had this offseason. We talked in the past couple of weeks about them playing multiple quarterbacks and multiple play callers and all this kind of stuff. And they went out there and had a pretty sound game, at least offensively, led by Jackson Arnold, 108 yards through the air, 137 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, could do some work. They did give up quite a few yards, through, defensively, nearly almost 500. But they were able to score 38 points, win 38-24, and silence some of the critics, at least to start the season, for what's going to be a very pivotal year for Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I know it's going to be big. I think you got a really talented guy there, backing up Jackson Arnold and Deuce Knight, a guy that they're really excited about. But, yeah, it was a big win over Baylor. You had to go to Baylor to get that one done, too. So, I wouldn't say a statement win yet. I don't know if we can take anything away from that win other than, beating a good Baylor team. And Baylor, team, kind of struggling for relevancy, I guess. Still kind of hanging around up there. But, again, for this Hugh Freeze, Auburn program, I don't know if we saw it coming or what. A game we expected them to win, but we didn't expect them to win it like that.
The transfer portal never stops giving in terms of interesting guys and interesting places. There are guys that have hung around forever. I did see last week during week 0, somebody tweeted out, this is the first season of college football not involving Cam Rising in some way since 2017. He was a freshman in 2018 and redshirted at Texas and hung around forever, went to Utah, finally retired because he was dealing with the concussions and all that kind of stuff. But those are such unique stories that because of the transfer portal, the COVID year, injuries and all that kind of stuff, you can have guys that hang around for 7, 8. In the case of Cam McCormick at Miami, 9 years playing college football. It's crazy.
Almost a decade of playing college football is absolutely insane. I made this joke when I had Jordan Kay on the walkthrough last week. I was like, the running back room's just about as old as us. And you look at Rashford Faison and Oscar Attaway, two elder statesmen in this game in their own right. Obviously good to have some experience there, but, those guys, certainly using up all of their eligibility that they can get. Faison certainly coming down to the wire, as we know.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's good to have the experience, but, yeah, at some point, you do have to move on to, greener pastures.